Welcome to MagicGatheringStrat. Today we're talking about Red-Green Tron. It's the modern Bible and it's chapter 3. We are going to talk about the engine of the deck. The cards that make the deck survive until it can cast its bombs. We have 8 search cards that find Tron pieces first, and then they find Eye of Ugin, and then they win the game. Those are Expedition Map and Sylvan's Scrying. You should try not to sideboard them out, but sometimes I will sideboard out one Scrying against fast decks, but these are not cards you often sideboard out. You should overall try to avoid siding out the engine cards. I have included the sweepers in this section too, and maybe that's a little confusing, but I'll mention the cards. We have 8 eggs. We have 4 stars, 4 chromatic spheres. The chromatic stars are better than the chromatic spheres because if they die for any other reason than you sacrificing them, you still draw the card, but that doesn't happen with sphere. And that's very relevant when you want to nature's claim your own star to gain life against burn, for example. And then we have the best cantrip in modern, Ancient Stirrings. Ponder and Preordain are banned, and they are not this strong. In this deck, this is insanely strong. You should never sideboard out Stirrings. It helps you find your Tron, and then it helps find your bombs and everything else you ever need. So Stirrings might be the best card in the deck. Then we also have stuff that blows up the world. The best card to blow up the world and save yourself is Oblivion Stone. You should pretty much always play 4 Oblivion Stones. I did not because I didn't have 4, but basically this is superior to any alternative pretty much. This is so strong. Its only weakness is manlands. Then you have Pyroclasm. The number of Pyroclasms depend on the meta, but I think you should have 4 in your 75. Here I have 1 in the sideboard. There was a short period when so was all the rage, when Wild Cattle was unbanned, that people played Fire Spout in this spot. Fire Spout is a lot worse, because when you have 3 lands, you don't want to cast a 3 mana spell. You want to cast Karn, or possibly All Is Dust, which is the other sweeper. I've seen lists playing 4 Oblivion Stones and 2 All Is Dust. All Is Dust might actually be better than it has been for a long time, because Pyroclasm fails to defeat Abzan, whereas All Is Dust works very well against Abzan if you can find your Tron. But you will play so many matches where you don't have the Tron, and when you don't, Oblivion Stone is so much better than All Is Dust, because Oblivion Stone you can actually use playing it for 3 and then firing it off for 5. There is also Ugin the Spirit Dragon. I don't own him. I haven't seen any need to include him, but he is definitely being tested by everyone. 0 to 2 copies were seen in decks at the Pro Tour. A card that's used to fill out the deck is Relic of Preenitus. From 0 to 4 of these. And it's a cantrip. It helps make your deck thinner, but it also is devastating against certain decks. Such as Living End or Dredge variants and stuff. This is often a very, very useful card. It's also a card that you sideboard out very often. So it's sort of a token card that holds places in the deck that you can replace. And this also goes for Spellskite. Spellskite looks like a sideboard card, but it's so good in certain matchups that you might want it main deck. It protects you against Infect, against Boggles, and it's also extremely useful against Scapeshift, against Burn, and against Splinter Twin. All very hard matchups. So Spellskite, possibly in the main deck. Having 1 Spellskite in the main deck is a lot more than having 0, because you can fetch it with Eye of Ugin. And that happens occasionally, not that often, because of course it costs 9 mana to do so. But it is an option. And those were the engine cards. If you're going to sideboard out stuff, sideboard out the things I talked about last. The Spellskites, the Relics, and possibly Sweepers. against decks that are very fast and don't play a lot to the board. And try not to sideboard out the eggs or the land searchers. Next time we're gonna talk about the bombs, the stuff that wins the game. Thank you for watching.